Now let's talk about API integration. API integration in Snowflake works in two directions. First is inbound and second is outbound. So inbound, we can use Snowflake SQL API, and Snow SQL API is a RESTful interface that allows custom applications to interact with Snowflake without using any traditional drivers like JDBC, ODBC or Python drivers. And second is outbound. This is Snowflake external access. This is the modern way to make Snowflake talk to outside world. It allows you to call any external APIs directly from within UDFs or stored procedure. This is the syntax for creating API integration. We will see that in action as well in a few minutes. Let's talk about Git integration. Snowflake Git integration allows you to connect a Snowflake account directly to a Git repository like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or Azure DevOps. This turns a Git repo into a first-class stage inside Snowflake, enabling modern data operations and CI/CD workflows. Okay, I don't have much theory here to talk. Let me quickly take you to Snow site and we'll implement that right away. I'm back into my Snow site. This time I am going to create the API integration and I am going to fetch all the data which I am having inside my Git repository. If I go to my Git app repository, I had uploaded 4 files here, and you can see I had uploaded Hello World, Taxis, Titanic and Health exp file inside my Git repo, which name is Snowflake demo. So I'm going to fetch all these files inside my Snowflake environment. For that, first I need to create a secret. Okay, I will create a secret. In order to create a secret, I need to write a script create or replace secret, and then the secret name, let's say my GitHub secret. And then I need to mention my password and username, and I will say type is password and username is my username. Then I need to mention my password. Cool, I had mentioned my password. Now I will just hit run and I had created my secret. Now I am going to create the API integration. Create or replace API integration. And let's say Git API integration. And then I need to mention few options like API provider. And in this API provider is Git HTTPS APIs. And my API allowed is only Git. API allowed prefix is my Git account. I will mention my Git account here. Then I need to mention allowed authentication secrets, and it's my GitHub secrets. So my GitHub secrets, and last is enabled is equal to true. Now I will just hit and run this. Perfect. I had created the API integration as well. Now it's time to create the Git repository. In order to create, it's the same, create or replace Git repository, and then my repository name, let's say my code repo. And now I will mention my API integration, which is this one. I just copy paste. And then I need to mention my Git credentials, which I had created above. I will just copy paste those as well, my Git secret. And I want to mention my origin. This is the place from where it needs to pick all the files. Perfect. Now I will hit run. It's running. Perfect. I had created my Git repo as well. Now I will just do the last step that I will fetch all the files from my Git repo into my Snowflake. Okay, I will write Git repository and my Git repo name, my code repo, and let me write fetch. It will fetch all the files which I have present in my GitHub to this Snowflake. See, it had fetched the my branch and the main branch. Let me see it. Let me see it. I will just type list at the rate my code repo. Then branches. Inside branches, I will go main and I will just hit run. See guys, now all the files which I had in my GitHub, all the files now in my Snowflake, and it is showing 5 columns: my file name, my file size, MD5, SHA for the file name, and the last modified date. Okay, let me show you one more cool stuff. I have one hello world SQL file. In that I had written one select query. Let me try to run that from here itself. I will show you. For that, I will just write execute immediate from execute execute immediate from this repo. I will copy paste, Control C, main, and then hello. Let's trigger this. So it will open the file and copy the query inside that file, and then it will run the query using my Snowflake warehouse and will show the result. See guys, it has shown the result. So this is very cool thing. Let's now discuss about rollback processes. So there are 5 kind of rollback processes which Snowflake offers. First is time travel, second is the undrop command, third is the table swapping, fourth is the fail safe, and fifth is the transaction rollback. If we talk about time travel, Snowflake automatically keeps the version of data as it changed. If you accidentally delete a table or run an incorrect update statement, you can query the data as it is existed at the specific point in time, and the retention period of time travel is 0 to 90 days in case of enterprise edition or above, and for standard edition it's just 1 day. If we talk about undrop command, if a database schema or table is accidentally dropped by you, Snowflake does not physically delete the data immediately. It moves to a dropped state for a duration of the time travel retention period. You can quickly undrop the table by saying undrop table name, and it will immediately retrieve your data back. Third is table swapping. For the production deployments, the safest rollback strategy is using the swap with command. This is often used during a deployment life cycle to switch between a new version and an older version. You can deploy changes to any other database or schema using the swap with. You can just say alter table, the previous table name, then you can say swap with the new table name. And if a user reports any kind of bugs, you can simply run the swap command again. The old table, which is now the new table, immediately will become the active table again. So this is the beauty of table swapping. It is very flexible. Fourth is fail safe, and you already know what is fail safe. This is the last resort. Once the time travel period expires, data moves into Snowflake, and you cannot just extract the fail-safe data. You need to contact with the Snowflake to retrieve the fail-safe data, and that is also up to 7 days. Last is transactional rollbacks. Snowflake supports standard ACID compliant transaction rollbacks for multi-statement operations within a session. And if a session crashes or the warehouse is suspended the mid transaction, Snowflake automatically rolls back the uncommitted changes.